Jeff Dutch.
Is this on? I don't think this is on. Oh,
It's
there
on.
it is. Cool. All right, next time you guys have an interview, I recommend that you invite someone to read your resume. It's much more impressive when somebody else says it. So, yeah. Okay, so this is our last session of today, right? I'm gonna be a bit more animated, I guess. I was told that nobody came on stage yet, so hopefully this is okay. Is this okay to do this? Like, how often do you get a chance to do that? So, yeah. All right. I have a lot of material to get through today. If you want to get this deck, you can email me. So if you want to take a photo of that now, jeff@longtailux.com. I'll send you that. And then if you have questions later, I can help you. I want to jump right into it. I want to take you back to 2010. If we're talking about the future, I want to show you how things have changed in the last 10 years for SEO. Well, in 2010, the iPad was released. In music, oh, this is my first quiz question. I decided to make it more fun. I brought t-shirts, these t-shirts. So if you want a t-shirt and you think you know the answer, when you see this t-shirt time thing, that means I'm going to ask a question. And if you get it right, you'll get a t-shirt. Tash is going to hand them out there. So does anyone know who this is? Hey, raise your hand. Yes? Okay, and the song? This is the #1 song of 2010 was? Yes. TikTok by Kesha in 2010. T-shirt for the man there. Can anyone get, no, this is not a t-shirt one. Toy Story 3 was released. And in SEO, oh, she's gonna throw. Whoa, coming in hot. Okay, in SEO, everyone was obsessed with head terms that get millions of searches per month. So I wanna, head terms, oh, sure, I'll give a t-shirt for this one. Can anyone tell me what a head term is? Say again?
The top level word, like plumber.
Close. So it means a search that gets lots of searches in a month. So for example, Justin Bieber would be a head term because it gets 50 million searches per month, right? And everybody was obsessed with these in 2010. Now, I want to take you back to where I was in 2010 on April 14th at 11 a.m. I was invited to go and see one of my clients. I had just moved to New Jersey where I was starting my SEO consultancy because I just decided I'm gonna be an SEO guy. And he said, his name was Ed, he's an electrician, and he goes, yeah, meet me at WET in northern New Jersey at 11 a.m. I didn't know what WET was. But I don't know if you can tell from the picture, but in New Jersey they have these things called go-go clubs. They're like gentlemen's clubs. I heard it was a family-friendly location. This talk is family-friendly, so I won't say. But yeah, there were ladies inside. I'm not going to paint it any. Email me and I'll tell you more. But yeah, so Ed's in there. I go through. There's a big bouncer. It's 11 a.m., which is really weird because it's daytime. Go past the bouncer and there's Ed, and he's sitting at the bar with a stack of ones next to him, and there's a lady in front of him in a bikini. And I set my SEO contract down on the bar next to him, and I go, okay, so let's talk about, yeah. You know, well, first let's, have a couple drinks, whatever. And this was my first SEO pitch to an SEO client. Was there. And yeah, and I promised him, well, I'll get to that in a second. I promised him that I would build him a WordPress website with 10 pages of content on being an electrician, make a personalized video, and get him to page 1 on Google for New Jersey electrician for $2,500. That was my first SEO consulting gig, right? And then came the fear, right? Because he actually signed the thing. He was like, yeah, he couldn't pass it up. And I was afraid because, I knew I had to do a good job. But something I've learned, and yeah, I want to take a gauge real quick, from if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How experienced you are at SEO, because I want to know how advanced the audience is. So if you're like, I've heard about it, kind of, you're a 1. If you're like, I'm Rand Fishkin and I, do this for a living, it's 5. And if you're like a consultant, something, you're a 3 or 4. I see some. Can everybody just, even if you're a 1, don't be embarrassed. Oh, a lot of 5s and 4s and stuff. James, really? James? No. Okay, James Carmody, he invited me here. Okay, so I would say I was about a 2. And after I promised him to do this, I did it because behind the fear is where the magic starts. Whenever you're afraid of something, in digital marketing and in SEO specifically, always say yes, you'll do it because you'll learn something. And the best weapon against fear is a mentor. I actually had a mentor back then who was from Australia, although I was in the US. His name was David Jennings, and he turned me on to these PBNs. Okay, this is a t-shirt time question. Does anybody know what that stands for? Yes. Okay, that's the new answer. The old answer was not private blog networks, but yes. Okay, I think they both. That's right. They both get t-shirts. Yeah, public blog networks. Right. Now, a public blog network, basically, you put your blog on there, and people are allowed to link to their website from your blog, and in return, you get to put links on theirs as well. I think there's another t-shirt. Yeah, needed there. Okay, so I discovered these. And more importantly, I discovered how to make these. And these were automated articles that were written by robots about any topic. So I built a thing that was able to do that. And from that, we built a really big business. But yeah, so the first two things I want to say about SEO is, if you really want to get good at it, the two things, first, automation is the first thing. So I use browser automation and this spinner thing, which is an API connected to thing, and then PHP and cron job. These would be the three I would start with, or with like browser automation, PHP, and cron jobs, yeah. And I built a thing that looked like that made something like that made those articles. And the other thing I did was outsourcing. So if you have ever worked with virtual assistants, you want a good location, that's where I got all my virtual assistants from. Onlinejobs.ph. All of this information came from that one mentor, from David Jennings. And yeah, I had a really good drop day domainer, which I won't go into what that means, but I set it all up. It probably, this was, I had already worked for Ed for about 9 months, and I had barely struggled to get him onto page one, but I had got it at the end. But after I found this thing from David, called these PBNs, and this automation, outsourcing, this whole system that I built, I spent 16 hours setting the whole thing up, and then I decided to make a test. I plugged my 250 blogs into the network, and I hit go, and I said, let's build 1,000 links to Ed's website, and the anchor text, that is the thing that you click on to get to the website, it'll say just electrician and nothing else. 1,000 links overnight. And I used this XML RPC technology that WordPress has. Anybody know about this? Yeah, it lets you post on your blog, right? So, and then after a 16-hour day of vaping, I was a big vapor back then, because I worked tons of hours, and it wasn't good for me. But after 16 hours, laid down on my dirty yellow couch, because I was poor, and got woken up to a phone call. And it's a guy with a New Jersey accent. Jeff, what'd you do? Turn it off. And I, what do you mean? What do you mean? He says, turn it off. Whatever you did, turn it off. He said, I've been getting phone calls all day from Saudi Arabia, from Germany, all these people, they want electrician work, what's going on? And so I'm still rubbing the sleep out of my eyes. I go to my computer and I just Google electrician, and he's #1 in the world for electrician. So, so my next point is about complaints. A quick one about this. When you get a complaint, don't be afraid. That means you're onto something, actually, when people start complaining. This whole thing, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. That's what happened with us. And we built this huge business off of this selling links, because we found this out. But more, right. And then came Easy Street, where I lived on an island, and this is my PayPal screenshot and all that wanky stuff that people show, just to prove that I was. Don't worry, there's a great article that tells you how I lost it all too, which is out there on the web. I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. But yeah, that's called Confessions of a Google Spammer. It's an article I wrote about this whole story, and then how it all came crashing down. That's really hard to read, but yeah, this guy actually even bought the rights to it to make a screenplay, and it didn't go anywhere. But more importantly, why was Ed so annoyed? And remember I said something about head terms earlier, right? That's what it was. The keyword that I chose was a head term. So he was getting all of this traffic that was not related to what he does, which is, he's a commercial electrician in northern New Jersey, and he doesn't want to do anything outside of that. And so I learned this back then, but I still find that a lot of people are always chasing these head terms, these millions, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, 30,000. And I want to say head terms versus long tail keywords. So long tail keywords would be the opposite, but who can tell me what a long tail keyword is? Oh, okay, James.
A keyword that's very specific and niche and low volume,
right,
but more intent.
Right, okay, that actually is a really good answer, yeah. Very small search volume, very high search intent, and normally it means lots of words, right? Because when you first Google electrician, you don't know exactly what you want. By the time you Google something longer, you really know. So you've got head terms, which are also called short tail keywords, like electrician, the high local monthly search, which means in the country that you're checking it, low buying intent, people aren't really sure what they want, and extreme competition. But everybody goes after these normally because it's a vanity thing, right? Oh, I want to be #1 for electrician. That would be amazing, right? But you don't make any money, and you get all these pointless phone calls from Saudi Arabia. Versus long tail keywords, right? Like this. This would have been a perfect keyword for him. Bonded commercial electrician, New Jersey, because bonded means he's insured, and it's a different class of electricians, right? He doesn't want to get phone calls from people who want like dodgy, I just need to hook something up for this weekend, Not that. He wanted like official, Low local monthly search, but extremely high buying intent, and very low competition. If somebody searches for this, you know that they contact you, they're probably a good lead, right? All right, so let's talk about competition in 2020, and then I'm going to tell you how to win. All right, so the first thing about competition I want to say is the top 5 or go home. So I want to ask, do you guys know, in terms of like the organic clicks that you get off of the search engine results page, what percentage of those clicks are from the top 5? This is a tough question, but I'll give you a hint. The #1 result gets about 40% of the organic clicks. So if you take those top 5, what percent?
100.
When somebody said, just shout it out when I hear it.
60.
Nobody said it yet. You were closest, you said 60. It's actually, who said 70 just now?
70.
Okay, I guess, so t-shirt for Red. I think you can have one as well, because okay. So the top 5 results, organic results, on the Google search engine results page get 70% of the clicks. So if you're number 6, you get about 1% of the local monthly search, right? So if it's a search that gets searched 10,000 times and you're number 6, you'll get 100 visits. Right? Which is not that much, right? So it's tough. And there's competition on the page as well. So you've got, for example, let me go back here. So if you search for electrician, the first results that you see on the page that as a searcher is going to be ads, of course, right? After the ads comes the local maps results, right? And then after then come the organic. No, not actually the answer box, saying. People also ask, how much does an electrician charge per hour? Do electricians make good money? Do you know where these come from, by the way? This is Google scraping websites and putting their content on this page.
Is it a t-shirt?
Not yet, sorry. Not yet. So and normally when somebody opens up one of these boxes and gets that answer, they don't click on the website. It's what they call zero-click searches. Have you guys heard of this, zero-click searches? It's a big problem. Actually, at SMX, Rand Fishkin, who's like the founder of Moz. You guys know Moz? Have you heard of it? Cool, yeah. So his presentation was all about this, and that's why I really wanted to make this clear today. This is the biggest thing that you can do in 2020 to help your own website and also your customers' websites do well, is to take back the traffic to your website that Google is trying to keep on the website from these searches, from these long-tail searches. Because if you can do that, they're going to make a lot more money. And I'm going to show you exactly how much, because I have a couple case studies I'll show you where we did this. But and there's this new thing called Burt. Has anyone heard of this? Yeah. This is a t-shirt question. This is a really hard one, but what does it stand for? I've got a hand up there.
trying to further define what the topic is. So basically further refine it.
Yes. I was going for the acronym, though. Like, what does the acronym stand for? I actually don't remember either, but... Oh, I've got a hand there.
So the last word is transformation?
Yes, close enough. A couple t-shirts for those guys. It's bi-directional something. It doesn't matter. Well, the important thing is what this affects 10% of all searches. It's Google's biggest algorithm update in the last 5 years. And what it does is it puts more of those answer boxes on the screen. So it's going to increase those zero-click searches and decrease clicks to your website. So, and what Rand's presentation was, and I have some screen grabs from it, and it was literally just the other day, was Google has now gone from being everybody's search engine to being everybody's competitor. And it's true, because they're trying to keep people off your website and keep them on the search engine results page. So this is a problem, and I'm going to show you what to do about it. Here's another one for businesses. How about if you Google hotels? What do you get first? Ads, local searches, and guess what? This is a type of a carousel that actually opens up in yet another Google asset that goes to another one. You can even book like flights directly inside here that you never have to visit their website, which is a big problem. I'm going to show you why. How about this? I want to buy some lotion. What do I get? I get the carousel, right? And this carousel goes to Google Shopping, which is another Google asset. And you can buy stuff directly from there. And guess what? You never actually go to your website, your WordPress website that you work so hard to build. So here's an example, right? I want to buy lotion. I find this lotion. I click Add to Cart. I add it to cart. I click Go to Checkout. I go to checkout. Oh, how convenient. I never had to go to your website. How nice. Oh, but Google does give you they put your website right here. So in case they remember myotcstore.com, maybe they'll go back there again. So basically, you're becoming a supplier for Google, and all this hard work that you put into building your WordPress site was for nothing. So what do you lose out on? Brand experience, cross-selling, retargeting, list building, margin, everything, right? So when someone doesn't land on your website, you're becoming a supplier to Google, right? You don't want that. You want to have a brand. You want to have an audience. You want to build a list of emails so you can send them stuff. You want to get them on, you want to get Facebook Messenger access so that you can tell them when you have a new blog post or a new promotion, something like that. This pie chart tells you how many zero-click searches, what percent of searches end up as zero-click searches. 49%. 49% of the time that someone Googles something, they never actually go to an organic website. The other things, you know what this slice is? This is Alphabet. This is Google's businesses, YouTube, all their, whatever else. Google Shopping. And here, they leave us 41%. That's so nice of them to give us so much, right? So top 5 or go home. You really want to be in the top 5. Burt is a problem for us because it's going to increase Google's the zero-click searches. On-SERP competition is crowding you out. And competition with Alphabet assets is the last thing. So I decided to start with some bad business ideas in case you want to see some. Don't go into lyric sites because you'll get this. TikTok by Kesha, here's the lyrics. There's your website, a nice grayed out link to your website. Thanks for the free content, Lyric Find, which I'll never go to again. Celebrity net worth sites, wouldn't go into that. There's the answer right there. Kesha's worth $5 million. Why would I click on this link? I asked what her net worth was. It tells me right there. I don't have to go to her website, right? How about flight comparison? Nope. Skyscanner, Expedia, all those Travelocity, they're not gonna show up in organic here. Because this, you've got ads, then you've got Google Flights, which is better than all of them anyway, right? So how do you win? I know I'm painting a lot of doom and gloom here, but I do have some actual good news for you today. Sorry? Suing Google. Actually, that was one of Rand's pieces of his advice. He said, if you find out that Google's doing this, contact me. I have good contacts in the media. I'm like, great. Then 6 months later, there will be an article in the news, and by then we're already bankrupt. But the fast way to win is to do this. This guy, Wee Willie Keeler, big baseball fan, so he used to say, hit them where they ain't, because they asked him, how are you so good at batting? This would be the same thing in cricket, right? Hit it where they ain't. So you want to hit Google where they don't have all of these things, right? Where there isn't this competition. So I'm going to show you what to do. So first of all, one of the things I've seen recently with SEO, a lot of people talking about some things that concern me. So obsession with rankings. For those of you who use rankings trackers, as you just saw, a lot of those are zero-click searches. It's dangerous if you only focus on rankings. Visibility, same thing. For those of you who track visibility, it's dangerous to look at just that because you're only seeing how many times your website appears on the search engine results page. And again, what you should be focusing is on how many times do people actually get to your website, right? Why? Because then you get back your branding, you get back your list building, you get back your retargeting, you get back your margin. Those are the things you actually built your WordPress website for. And for SEO, you want to target keywords with fewer on-SERP distractions, like we just saw, the hotels, the lyrics finder, all those things, right? Okay, so you don't have that. All right, so here's an example that I told you about earlier, like electrician versus bonded commercial electrician, New Jersey. Electrician has all of the things I showed you just then. Bonded, yes, you've got the 3 maps locations, but the first result after that is your organic website, which says licensed, insured, bonded, right? So someone will actually click this, they'll actually visit that, and then you can list build with it, right? And get the Longtail ROI. I'm running short on time, so I'm going to say real quick here, just go straight to the summary here. Trust me, I did the math, okay, between ranking for a head term versus ranking for a long tail keyword. The basic math here is I calculate how much it would cost to rank for a head term like electrician. I figure about 150 links based on Ahrefs, and which would convert to about $15,000 of revenue, but it would cost you whatever it is, 26,000. Versus going for a keyword like this, it would only take 1 link plus 1 working day. This one's 10 working days to try and rank for a big term like electrician, right? So the final analysis. Head term, you pay 27K, you make 15 in your first year. ROI of 57%, cost of failure extremely high. Because if you put in all that effort and you don't rank, then you're really in trouble. Even if you do rank after 6 months, you're still only going to get a 57% ROI. So you'll make 57 cents for every dollar you spend. Sounds like good startup math to me. Long tail keyword, pay $650, make $1,000. That's 153% ROI. So we see this all the time because it's all we do at Longtail UX. We never go for head terms. We only go for long tail keywords. And the cost of failure is low because it's really easy to make a page that's so specific like that because there's nothing else competing with you really. If someone finds that after searching for a bonded commercial electrician for 10 minutes and finally finds that and sees that you're the one that has that exact result, that's going to create a loyal customer who's going to come back and buy from you again and again. Versus if you're just one of another 1,000 people who talks about what is an electrician. Right? A couple other things, Make a Purple Cow. This is a book by Seth Godin. Has anybody read this? It talks about making yourself remarkable. Using long tail keywords like this makes you remarkable because you're the only one with that answer, right? And what you're doing is you're the innovator out here, the 2.5%. You're trying to influence these people, the early adopters, because they're the ones who are going to spread you virally. They're the people who are willing to try new things and will talk about you when you've given them something that they've never seen before, right? If your topic is remarkable, people will remark on it. They'll spread it virally. And if they don't, your ad budget is going to be a lot higher. Your budget for SEO is going to be a lot higher because you're going to have to use retargeting and retargeting and retargeting and remarketing and everything else. Has anyone heard of this movie that came out recently? This is an example of a long tail Game Changers. It's about vegan bodybuilders, right? And why is that remarkable? Because normally when you think of vegans, you think of someone like me, skinny, whatever. But this is like Arnold Schwarzenegger and a bunch of strong bodybuilders who do this. It's remarkable. I've heard about this movie from like 10 different people in the last month because this is something that I haven't heard of before, right? So if I Google vegan bodybuilders, you'll see the results on there. It's much more remarkable, right? So this is the other thing I wanted to say. If you can't think of why one of your customers would tell 5 friends about your niche website or the keywords you're working on, don't do it. So how to win? Don't stop at SEO. Get that long tail ROI. Make a purple cow. And I want to show you a couple of purple cows that we've had in Australia. Actually, Adore Beauty is one website that did this. We helped them. With this, they got an 80% increase in SEO traffic by doing this, pages like this. Best Brightening Serum Australia. So they realized that in these very niche searches for beauty, there weren't a lot of websites that were good at ranking these websites, ranking the products that were exactly specific to that best brightening serum for Australia, and for lots of different products. So they said, can you actually build us pages that rank our products that are exactly matching that from best to worst? So we did that using third-party feed from trusted reviews. So you can see all the, those are the top stars, and then lower down of the 79 products that match brightening serum that is available in Australia, the lowest rated one will be at the bottom. 80% increase in SEO traffic. Mad Paws, another one. They realized that nobody else was looking for pets, was making pages for pet sitters in specific areas, especially in suburbs of Sydney. So we built them a bunch of pages like that. And then you get just pet sitters that are in Ballarat or in King's Cross, right? 88% increase in SEO leads from that. And Grays Online, if you've heard of that, it's an auction site, 152% increase in SEO revenue from doing this. They just picked things that, we picked local geographic areas for car auctions, for wine, for all kinds of things, right? And these match those exactly. So these are very specific things that get very good results. Okay, so yeah, these three. There's lots more. All right, I think I'm, okay, all right, okay. I'm being conscious of time here. How to find your long tail. I want to show you some specific things that you can do today to find these keywords and to start building your strategy for your clients or for yourself, right? So these are things that we do a lot. Number one, this is the gold mine, the search terms report from Google Ads. Look at your search terms and see where the keywords where you're getting lots of clicks, like 100+ clicks per month, where those don't exactly match the page that they're landing people on. Does that make sense? Right? So for Tampa divorce attorney, if that lands them on a page that's just, we are a divorce attorney company that is, worldwide, and it doesn't talk about specifically Tampa, create that landing page for that. That's one thing that we do a lot of. The next one, oh yeah, the key question. Where did we send a lot of paid traffic where the landing page didn't exactly match the keyword, right? Because there's an opportunity there to create a remarkable experience for someone where they're like, wow, you told me exactly for Tampa, for this exact search. Next one. Okay, anybody ever use this tool? Ahrefs? Yes, it's my favorite. So you can find organic keywords in Site Explorer from Ahrefs. This is awesome. So you go into the Site Explorer. I'm showing you for the iconic. These are the pages that they should be creating. You go into your organic keywords, choose position 6 or worse, volume 200 or less searches per month, word count 3 or more, and then ta-da, you get all of these keywords. And you get to check each one and see, does it exactly match the page? So we have men's coats Melbourne. There's one, it's going to this page, men's clothing, coats, jackets. So it'd be better there, it'd be a better experience if that page was about just Melbourne and coats in there, right? Here are some photos of people we've seen in Melbourne, like, trendy pea coats in Melbourne. It's all the rage, The conversion rate would go up, the remarkable experience would go up, the brand loyalty would go up if they were to do that. And that's just one of there's 161,000 keywords there. So go to your website, do this, and check it out. And look, that's a really low-hanging fruit that would be easy for you to really crush. And we have a tool as well, Longtail UX. We built a tool that tells you the top 100 recommended pages. So this is one we did recently. It's for someone who does security cameras. So, warehouse discount code, for example. So if you want to try this, it's a free tool for now. If you want, we just released it a week ago. So for that, just go to this address there, scorecard.longtailux.com. Put in your email address. And then it actually uses your search terms from your GA to tell you exactly what I'm showing you there. So it does the same thing. Uses a little bit of extra magic to show only pages where there's low competition. So it actually does couple more bits of heavy lifting there. So that's another tool that you can try out. All right, and also, so that's for existing sites where you already have traffic, but I have 2 tips for if you're just starting out. Okay, so for brand new sites, the first thing is suggested searches. So you know when you Google something at the bottom of the page, you'll see all the suggested searches. So these are the things that people search for after they search for the thing that you Googled. So after they search for electrician, people are like, I need to get more specific. How about licensed electrician Sydney? So this is like, you start from there, and then you can put this back into the search. You can actually search for licensed electrician Sydney, and then look for the suggested searches from that, and then you can go deeper and deeper and deeper, depending on how low you want the competition to be. But this is an awesome way to get these great keywords that are really specific and remarkable purple cow type keywords. There's also a tool called keywordtool.io that does that for you. So you can use this as well. It's free. I think they have a paid version, but it's pretty good. But the recommended searches, that's an awesome one. The other one, too, is Answer the Public. Anybody heard of this? Yes, great. So you put in a keyword, and it actually shows you different directions you can go with question words like will. So I put in electrician. It's, will electrician jobs be automated? Will electrician cults? Okay, I'm not sure what that's about. There's an electrician cult. That's awesome. Electrician will not issue certificates. So these are all long tail topics that people are searching for that they don't have great answers for. And again, these are the type of questions that Burt is going to try to put on that search engine page and take away from you. Don't let him take it away. All right, so review. So use the search terms report, which is GA for paid search, Keywords Explorer, which I showed you. Use our tool, it's still free, suggested searches, and answer from keywordtool.io, and answer the public, sorry. All right, and yeah, and just a few takeaways before we close here. SEOs have to find a way to automate and outsource. If you want us to do this for you, you know someone who you'd like to just give it to us, you can always go to Longtail UX, and we'll help you to automate and outsource this whole process. Your fear and their complaints are signs you're on the right path. So fear and complaints are actually good things. Don't compete with crowded SERPs. Appeal to the fringe. Go for those early adopters because they're the ones who are going to spread your word. Find your long tail and own it. That's where the return on investment is, right? I showed you the calculation. Don't go for one big keyword. Go for 1,000 little ones, right? Don't leave it to Burt. Answer those questions with your own pages and be a purple cow. Be remarkable. And go get your free scorecard there at scorecard.longtailux.com. All right, that's it for me. I don't know if we have any time for questions, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Come up on stage. It's awesome. Come up here. It's really cool. It feels awesome. Like you feel, I feel like more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't it amazing?
I feel like I have more energy.
Plus, people can see your face.
Should have been doing this all day.
You're a beautiful man.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we do have time for questions. I'm probably going to have to get down and give you the microphone now.
Oh.
But
Throw it at him.
Yeah.
T-shirt wrapped around it.
All right. Do we have any T-shirts left?
1, 2.
2 T-shirts.
One's meant to be from the gentleman over there.
Oh.
But we've only got 2 smalls left.
Oh, if you guys, okay, if you want a T-shirt, email me and we'll work it out.
So my question is, with Burt, if you're writing these long tail keyword pages, like
Yes.
you're writing, I don't know, like electrician, bonded, California, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What stops Burt taking your text off your website and showing that in their thing?
So that's a really good question, and the thing behind that is Google doesn't want to have to do that. They're not bad people. They're not like, how can we screw over those little WordPress websites? They're doing they're doing that because they didn't find a good result, one page that had that good result. So if they do find a good page with that one result, then they won't need to make that answer box. Also, if you have to look at the answer boxes. You have to look at the content on there and say, does this page that I'm creating, does it add value to the discussion, or does the answer box answer everything? If the answer box answers everything, if you're just a celebrity net worth and it's like people just want, I just want to know, Kesha, okay, 5 million and I'm done, don't go for that, right? Or lyrics, right? Oh, I got the lyrics, right? It has to be something that has more external value that people, like if it's a top 10 list, it might be top, if you look, go do vegan bodybuilders right now, it'll show like a little bit of information for the top 2, but the other 8, it doesn't say anything. So you have to click the page to go there, right? So are you adding to, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like when you showed us that lyrics,
yeah.
that came from a website.
Yes.
It didn't come from Google. They just pulled that off that website.
Yes.
And put it on their search result page. What stops them?
Well, so, I mean, at that point, yeah, we're back to the lawsuit, right? I mean, because they literally had to do that with Genius.com, had to, not a lawsuit, but they reported it in the Wall Street Journal. The most important thing, though, is that after they get the answer, are they going to still need to click to get more and get more information that's going to add value? That's the thing. You can't, like if it's buying a lotion, a special kind of lotion, you can't buy it straight off the answer box. You still have to go to the page. So each search depends, right?
I was wondering, when you said it's top 5 or nothing,
yes.
Do you mean top 5 after the adverts?
Yes, the top 5 organic.
You mean the top organic 5?
Exactly, yes.
All right, okay.
That's right,
Just checking.
Top 5 organic. They get 70% of the organic clicks. And do you guys remember what percent of searches end in an organic click? 41. That's a t-shirt answer right there if we have enough left. I don't know. 41. Good memory.
So what happens where someone's selling their lotion on their website and then Google says, I'll sell it for you? Who delivers the lotion? Do they click the ticket? What happens there?
So Google, yeah. I've never done fulfillment by Google, so I don't know. But I do know that Google is going to handle the transaction. They're going to buy with their Google Pay. The only thing you do is send it to the person. So I think you still get to know their address, but they're not opted into anything. So yeah, it's still bad for you. It's the same situation as if someone buys from you on Amazon. If you have products that you made yourself and someone buys from Amazon, it's even worse on Amazon because they do the fulfillment, the shipping as well. So, but that's the direction that Google's going. So, the main point there is try and avoid that situation. Don't rely on having Google Shopping or Amazon be the place where people buy from you, because your margin will go to nothing. You'll end up becoming 1 in 100 where people just compare on price and go, yeah, they're the cheapest. Okay, I'll buy them. Yeah, you want them on your website. That's why I say, like that. I have that vendetta against visibility, as looking at visibility as like a SEO metric. It's not good, or rankings, not good.
Any more questions? Yep.
Thank you.
Yes.
What do you think of the tools for keywords like Ubersuggest and Google Keyword Planner?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. So Google Keyword Suggest and Google Keyword Tool and Ubersuggest, I have a problem with those because they take data directly from, well, Google Keyword Tool is literally telling you which keywords they recommend you advertise for. So they're not going to tell you when a certain keyword gets searched for 55 times per month, or even 100 times, or even sometimes 3,000 times. We have some of those keywords for Grays Online. It says if you put them into Google Keyword Tool, it'll say they get searched less than 10 times a month. But their website gets 3,000 visits a month from that one page. And that page is only optimized for that keyword. It's the only one. So I'm not saying Google lies about the search volume, but I'm also saying Google lies about the search volume. When you do a Google Keyword Tool, they lie. So it's more important for you to see how do people actually search. That's why the search terms is such a goldmine, because you're seeing the actual searches that people search for. And from that, you can find patterns where it's like, wow, like one of the things that Adore Beauty found out was that a lot of people add that Afterpay after a product that they're looking for. They'll add Afterpay because they want to pay with Afterpay. And so they were like, hey, can you take our 2,500 products and like make a page for Afterpay where it filters in just the products that you can buy with Afterpay? And we're like, sure. Did that, and it became one of their best sellers, actually. Like those pages became some of their best sellers because people were searching for, those products where normally it would have gone to another person's website, like Maybelline or something like that. But because it added Afterpay, and they went to #1 as a result because it was a very specific and remarkable page that people didn't expect. Wow, it's like I can buy in Australia and I can pay Afterpay and I have 10 options to buy from. Yeah, great, I'll buy.
And Uber Suggest is similar as well?
Uber Suggest scrapes the data from Ahrefs, which scrapes the data from Keyword Tool. So it's all like one big vicious circle. You have to use your own logic in some cases to be like, yeah, I think maybe people search with Afterpay after each product, or use search terms from paid search. So you still have to use paid search to get those search terms, but that's why it's such a gold mine, because then you can use paid search and be like, wow, I get a lot of clicks for these keywords, then take those 50 keywords and make 50 pages. So it informs your content strategy in WordPress, right? You'd be like, here's 50 pages I need to make because I know people search for that, and when they click, they're gonna buy. Cool. One more.
Yeah, hi, great talk. I was wondering about like AMP. Have you seen it used a lot, and does it benefit your SEO at all, like for site load speed? And also I noticed like Reddit and Twitter get like direct pipes into Google, so if you post something like within a minute, it's like on Google already. Yeah.
Can you repeat the first question again?
Like, have you used AMP, or do you have clients that use AMP, the accelerated mobile pages?
Yeah. So AMP is the mobile speed, to optimize the mobile speed. Yes, so AMP is accelerated mobile pages, I think is what it stands for.
Yes.
Yeah. Very hard to set up. It does, so it makes the page load in like 0.1 seconds, which is great. The setup's difficult, and I know there are issues. The problem is that because it caches it, if you have updates like to your pricing, for example, it won't always update it. And then people go to, and it's like, what is this? Like, so it doesn't work for all pages. It's good for content that doesn't change a lot. Okay. But if you've got like dynamic content and stuff, you definitely don't want to use that. But it's good, like that's why news sites use AMP is so much, because it's like they want it to load really fast, and the article is probably not going to change after the editors have already approved it. So the short answer to that is don't use it for e-commerce or things that change regularly. If it's something that like the page only changes once a month or something like that, go for it. But and the metric there is if your page takes longer than 3 seconds to load, then consider doing it, because at 3 seconds, I think you lose like 30% of your traffic because they actually are too impatient to wait the 3 seconds for it to load. Yeah, there's data on that. So the second question, which was Reddit, how does Reddit and websites like Reddit, how do they get their content indexed so fast? So that's because they have such a high domain authority. So Moz has this thing called DA, but it's every website has authority based on the number of backlinks and the quality of backlinks that they have to them. So that's how Google estimates whether your website is high authority or not. So on a website like that has lots of links, like Reddit has lots of links to it, stuff gets indexed faster because Google crawls it more regularly because it has so many links coming in. So a website that doesn't have a lot of links coming to it, and especially not a lot of authority links, it takes a lot longer for the website to get indexed. But it still will be indexed over time. But yeah, I mean, like link structure is really important too. It's something that we have to deal with a lot. We've been talking to Canva a lot about that recently, because only 10% of their pages are indexed, which is crazy because they get 100 million visits a month. So imagine if 80% of their website was indexed, so it's a big problem. But yeah, that's why. But their answer is not more they have plenty of backlinks. Their problem is the link path that goes to that long tail web page, which is an image of like a kid in in boots and a rain jacket, something like that.
Cool answers. I noticed Kingster did like a blog post on AMP, and they said like their conversions dropped after they introduced it, so they reverted back to just their normal URL. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why it would drop. All I know is it's a real pain to set up. So it's good that it increases the load, it decreases the time to load, but yeah.
Thank you.
Right, exactly. It's a cost-benefit thing, right? Like what else could you do that would bring you more benefit? Putting your website on a CDN like Cloudflare is normally plenty. Like that's what we do. We use CDNs, and that's plenty.